before. Elegbede TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio. Elegbede TV Radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen. Elegbede TV Radio, we dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbede TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio. Elegbede TV Radio, you are listening to Elegbede TV Radio. Elegbede TV Radio, we dare to lead. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbede TV Radio, the pathfinder for radio. Elegbede TV Radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen.
All right, good morning and welcome to this Bus Buffet on Elegbede TV Radio. My name is Idafe Matthew. So I'm going to come into Elegbede One Sports. It's a wonderful time to be alive and to be on the airwave. We've got a lot to talk about in sports world today. And I just want you guys to look into this show as the show where we focus a whole lot on strikers that have played for Chelsea, the ones that have been successful from the Shevchenko day to this very moment. The ones that have been successful, the ones that have failed. And it goes back to the question that somebody raised yesterday. What is wrong with the Chelsea number 9? Is it a thing of cost? Is it a thing of tactics? Is it a thing of coaches? I don't know what it is, but I mean, we're just going to look at it. We're just going to peruse through it. Not like peruse anyway. We're just going to peruse through it. And then, we just probably draw conclusions here and there. A special shout out to every one of you who's out there. You know how to listen to us if you're new. So this is how you listen to us. You can listen on the mobile application, download Elegbede TV Radio on your Android, and we're good to go. If you're not doing that, you can also listen on www.elegbedetv.com/radio. You can also listen on the live stream on Instagram and on the YouTube channel. Sorry for those guys on Facebook. We no longer stream on Facebook because we noticed that most of the time freezes the whole broadcast. I don't know why that is, but we would look into it. I've seen a lot of messages from people on Facebook that we're not giving them a shot to be part of the show. I'm sorry, but it's just what it is. Not something we want to do. We wouldn't want to be on every platform. I really would love to be on every platform, but fortunately, some platforms are setting us back, so we decided to drop them. Having said that, whatever you want us to talk about, whether in football or outside of it, sports, whatever, you know how it is. This Thursday, so you can add it to the conversation and put it there. Whether you want to send us a message on WhatsApp, it's very simple and straightforward. 07025000069. That's the number, okay? I guess I'm too fast. 07025000069. That's the number to call in and to send in a message. Sorry, you can call. Send your message on WhatsApp and we would read it on the show. It's 1 hour that we've got to run this one. Let's do it well. Thank you very much for all the goodwill messages to me. I still have a swollen arm from the drip, so I'm recovering. I'm getting better. Thank you to everyone who's sending me messages, prayers, good wishes, and all that. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Yesterday, I didn't read any message from the WhatsApp, and I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry. I apologize. Okay, so let's go to this one. Iko J, say morning, bro. Loving the jersey and Ed4 color sync. Looking good, man. Thank you very much, Iko J. Yes, Bayern-Emerick. Yeah. Thank you very much for that message. I love it. Okay, so let's take the journey now. Let me show you some things that I researched and stumbled upon. I was like, oh, this will be good for my show. All right, it was on the Guardian. This was written in 2019, but you see the thing about information, it never goes still. It's always relevant. That's why they say if you think about it, write it down. Somebody years to come would have need for it. So let's talk about this one. From Shevchenko to Morata, how Chelsea strikers are mostly flopped. Okay, so the story, the write-up starts. The opening was Gonzalo Higuain is the 19th center forward signed by Chelsea since 2006. Will he succeed where many others have failed? So you know already that this was written at the time when Gonzalo Higuain was signed. And I'm going to read some of this story, some of the reviews about the Chelsea strikers that were signed. But in your own take, what I need from you guys to tell me is, do you think they were cost? Do you think there was something wrong with the number 9 at Chelsea? I don't know, but let's start with Andrei Shevchenko. This guy was bought for £30.8 million in 2006, and he was at Chelsea from 2006 to 2009. Ukraine's all-time record goal scorer, wonderful scorer in the Champions League, wonderful scorer for AC Milan, huge pedigree from Milan, but scored only 9 goals in 47 Premier League appearances for Chelsea. How did that happen? What happened? What went wrong? Okay, how did a good striker, a prolific, very, very prolific striker from his days at Dynamo Kiev, where was a strike partner with Sergio Rebrov, who went to Tottenham Hotspur, and remember that time it was Sergio Rebrov that AC Milan wanted to sign, but he said he doesn't want to play in Italy, he wants to play in England, and Shevchenko was rejected by everybody. I remember they went to the Nou Camp and they beat FC Barcelona 2 goals to 1 or 2 goals to nothing. I can't remember, but it was Sergio Rebrov that was on fire at the time, and he went to Tottenham Hotspur. And the not so attractive Shevchenko went to AC Milan. The rest, as I say, is history. He may not have done well with Chelsea, but you know what Shevchenko represents for AC Milan: Champions League, league title, everything they need to win. And then he also won the Ballon d'Or. Okay, so let's settle that case and move further. There's a Pizza Man. Remember the guy that they call the Pizza Man? Claudio Pizarro. Yes, the Peruvian. He came in 2007, just a year after Shevchenko came, and he wasn't scoring the goals. It's okay. He needs the strike partner. They brought in the pizza man to supply the pizza. Remember, he came in for free. Okay, so this one was not the player who had the price tag burden on him. They said, oh, it's the price tag that is weighing them down. This guy came in for free, snuck in through the back door, and everybody expected that he was going to unleash terror. After all, the Peruvian arrived for Bayern and his 2 years at Chelsea featured only 2 goals. How does a striker play for 2 years and score only 2 goals? Okay, for the club. And a season's loan at Werder Bremen, and then that was the end of the story. That was all she wrote. More than she wrote. Yeah, that was all she wrote. Pizza Man didn't deliver the pizza at all. Now, this is my favorite guy. The next guy I'm going to talk about is my favorite guy. The reason why he's my favorite guy, I think that until Thierry Henry, this was the best striker that Arsenal has ever signed, or probably this is the greatest signing Arsene Wenger made all through his career, from end to end. His name is Nicolas Anelka. Now, Nicolas Anelka single-handedly, and you know, I hate to use the word in a team sport, but single-handedly won Arsenal the 1997-98 double. I don't care what anybody says, but you could see him breezing past everybody. And I can't forget the finals against Newcastle in the FA Cup, breezing past everybody and putting the ball in the old onion bag, as Thomas Smith would say on ESPN. And you know, burying goals after goals. If this guy had not left Arsenal, he would have scored more goals than anybody. Not even Cristiano Ronaldo could have seen his back. I honestly say that. But hey, some people will come at me right now. But this guy was a born goal scorer. He could score goals with his eyes closed, with his ears closed, under the wall. He could score goals. But then he went to Chelsea and he went from an alligator to a war gecko. I don't know what happened, but you know, culminating with that penalty miss in the final at the Oleg Stadium that led Manchester United to winning the title. If you go back and watch his documentary on, is it Netflix? Yes, Netflix, where I was sharing, you know, what happened to him. It's just that the team didn't like him, okay? But then again, he went to Madrid. The team didn't like him. Well, he's a Champions League winner. So, whatever he says, everybody will want to have his kind of career. But let me read what is written here. One of the club's more successful acquisitions, Anelka's 59 goals helped Chelsea to a Premier League title and 2 FA Cup, including the double in the 2009-2010, right? So this man is a guy who knows how to win the double. He did start it with Chelsea. He did it with Arsenal. Also did it with Real Madrid. So everywhere he's gone, he's trying to get the double. And he went on to play for Liverpool, Bolton Wanderers, played for a lot of teams. Great guy. Anelka, you can't, like, Anelka can't do wrong by me. I don't care what you say. And it was bought for £50 million. Now there's one. When this guy was signed, they said he's the one for the future. He's the chosen one for the future. His name is Franco Di Santo. Franco Di Santo, you know, was really not heralded. I didn't see him as one of those guys. I think when Franco Di Santo was signed, I was already big on radio, and I remember saying to people like, "This one is crap. This one is not. This is not Chelsea standard. It's not up to ministry standard." And I was, "Oh, you're beefing Chelsea." No, what's a beef? It's just the reality. This is not Chelsea standard. It doesn't have the body. It doesn't have the personality. It doesn't have the charisma. The charisma. It doesn't have the aura. In that dressing room, it will be fried. And exactly that is what happened. Signing De Santo from others Italianos certainly did not work for Chelsea. The Argentinian failed to score in 16 appearances and became more renowned for what he ended up doing at Wigan. Wow, there's a guy who is more known as a Liverpool player than a Chelsea player. Some people don't even remember that he played for Chelsea. His name is Daniel Sturridge. Okay, 8.3 million pounds. He was signed in 2009 and he played for Chelsea from 2009 to 2013. That's 4 seasons. But Sturridge spent 3.5 years at Chelsea, having arrived from Manchester City, and was part of the Champions League winning squad. He also scored a decent amount of goals prior to moving into Liverpool. But yeah, you would still look back and say, come on, he didn't really hit it high. And to think that, the later part of Sturridge's career, was watered down. You always like, okay, what kind of player is this? But let's go to the one. Now, this is Ken Reeves. This is the Matrix. This is the one. Number one. When this guy was signed, everybody said, we have finally arrived. We have gone to the mountaintop and we have seen. That's, oh God, like Martin Luther King, that nobody should be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of the goals that they bring. That this guy have pedigree. He even have a nickname called El Nuno. This guy is the guy, when you want a player to score goals for you, go and ask in Atletico Madrid, they tell you. Go and ask at Liverpool, they tell you that this is the guy. This is the guy that makes Luis Suarez performances even look average. But hey, he came, he wore the blue jersey. He saw. I don't know if he conquered. They won the Champions League, right? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. A return of 20 goals in 110 league appearances ultimately did not warrant the club record fee Chelsea paid Liverpool for El Nuno. My guy, he did, however, play a part in the club's Champions League triumph in 2012. Go and ask Barcelona, they will tell you. The thing about greatness is sometimes, so I was reading that book by Andre Pello, I think that's why I play. And one of the things he said is, some great players are not going to show up every day. Players like Zinedine Zidane. And I always use the 1998 World Cup as an example. Zinedine Zidane in 1998 was one of the big flop of the tournament, up until the semifinals. People forgot that Zidane actually collected the red card in that tournament. People also forgot that he didn't play well up until the final. But when he showed up, when it matters most, he banged in that goal and the whole story changed. When you win a World Cup with your performance for your country, all sins are forgiven or better off. Just like Baggio in 1994 was the ultimate best player of the tournament. But then, because he missed that penalty in the final, what was good became bad, and what was bad became worse. Okay? That's just what it is. Okay, so before I continue reading, let me go to my friend, my brother, and I'm also going to tell you guys this. If you're building a home and you need somebody to give you the finest, you see the attitude with which I call this, the finest quality of interior decor, furnishing, that when you come into your house, you will no longer see it as a house, but you see it as a palatial mansion, or as the Italian will call it, La Casa. Okay? You will see it like that, and you will feel proud, feel honored. This guy, you should follow him on Instagram. His name is Yomiti. Okay? It will turn your concrete structure into a home. When you come in, you fall in love. If you're single and you're trying to convince a lady, all she needs is to come into your home after Yomiti and his company have given it a perfect touch. Once they figure it properly, it will not be as dry as Jurgen Klopp talks about Fulham's Craven Cottage feed. It will be lubricated and it will be free, easy access. I'm just telling you. Keep your mind out of the gutter, or not what you're thinking I'm talking about. I'm just talking about furnishing and fitting of the house and all that. Okay, Yomiti said, good morning, Brass, good morning to you. You said, this word, no balance. Nobody is talking about Flo, Asaba, Drogba, Anelka, Diego Costa. Some of the striker Chelsea bought and didn't perform. Is that to panic buy for me? Okay, yeah. Torah and the Flo, yeah, perform. Asaba, no, this record is taken from 2006. So I know you want to justify that, but hey, let's be very, very honest. It's taken from 2006. And Jimmy Floyd Asaba was a great, was a problem. I don't want I'm not a man of peace. I'm a man of war. Jimmy Floyd is a man with his 2K leg, or knock leg, as the English people want to say. That guy can hit a shot. Like, he's the Rashidi Yakini of the Netherlands. He can hit a shot from center circle, and your goalkeeper will wobble and fumble. Oh, go and ask David Seaman. Go and ask Peter Schumacher. They say Peter Schumacher the cash. When Jimmy Floyd asked about hit one shot for outside the 18, and don't say that ball with the keeper say the cash. That be every ball. So every ball that you go and put yourself. He used to be a goalkeeper in Warri Kokoshele. He used to catch every ball. Ituari, one guy they call Ituari, hit a shot. The shot carry him and the ball internet. I can't forget in the college. Go and ask people to tell Koshele. Koshele, what's happening? I said, bless the spirit in the ball. Sometimes not everything you can catch. My brother Ekoje said that goal from El Nuno against Barcelona was worth the transfer fee. I agree with you 100%. I see anything that delivers the Champions League, anything that delivers the Champions League for a club. If you play 10 years for a club and you don't score a goal, but you score the one goal that wins the club the Champions League, or that take them to the final and they go on to win it, all your sisters are forgiven. This is by my book. Oh, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, I know it's good to have 200 goals. What is Aleshera's 200 goals compared to that goal that El Nuno scored? I mean, I would take El Nuno's goal in this. Please, if you disagree, please tell me in the comment section on Instagram, WhatsApp, or on the YouTube channel. Would you rather have the Aleshera goals and not win titles? Probably one Premier League title with Blackburn Rovers in 1995, or have the El Nuno's how many goals did he score? 20 goals in 110 games, but you win the league, you win the Champions League. Which one do you prefer? Let's go there. Yeah, but this in my head as well. Thank you, brother. What you deserve it. I've seen your work. And I think you've done well. Zakia Salahu says, was Hannah Crespo and Nataja Kazman a panic buy too? Okay, Yomiti, I think you should answer that question since you say it's panic buy. Let's go to this one. This was the guy they called the reincarnation of DJ Drogba. As a matter of fact, they nicknamed him Baby Drogba. And this was the time where Edafe was a beast on radio. I mean, I've lost form. This was the time when I wasn't ready to hear any nonsense from anybody. And from the get-go, I said, Romelu Lukaku, it's an insult to the Drogba name to call this guy Baby Drogba. It's an insult. Like, just mentioning that name, Baby Drogba, makes him a terrible player. Because I watched him, this guy, in pidgin English, he worried to say, he didn't run, I will get big blockers. I'm sorry, guys. You know, we need to be posh and poised and tush. But I'm still a worry boy. You can't take the worry out of me, and I'm going to say that. Didier Drogba was running. He had elephant leg over. Remember, I invented that word on radio. Say this guy with elephant leg over is the person you want to compare with Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba only his neck and the athleticism of his neck, the way his neck springs. Then you can compare with this one. Okay, if he was playing under Coach BC, the late Coach BC will be calling him Big Fool. Big for nothing. They say it's Baby Drogba. Well, we all know Shah is one of the Italian league titles, so maybe we should just take it easy on him. But he's the next guy. The Belgian was viewed as a natural successor to DJ Drogba, but failed to score in 12 appearances. He went on loan to West Brom Everton before being sold to the latter, eventually ending up at Manchester United. And then he came back again. Well, who knows? There's nothing you can do. Now there's a player here that nobody would even remember he played for Chelsea. And he's gone on to Leeds United to do well. If I mention his name, like, when did he sign for Chelsea? Well, in 2011 to 2014, in 2012 to 2017, a certain player was signed for £1.5 million. His name is Patrick Bamford. Now you guys, did he play for Chelsea? Yes, he did. He signed for Chelsea. Completed 6 loan spells at MK Dons, Derby County, Middlesbrough, Crystal Palace, Norwich, and Burnley, without making a single senior appearance for Chelsea. Now, this is the place where I stand up and I say, Chelsea, you are a career-killing club. Yes, because Patrick Bamford, we all know that this guy's got talent. But was he given the chance? And I'm not going to blame Chelsea that much, but there's a career-killing tendency with Chelsea. Now, Chelsea was on the road. They were in a time where they were so successful, you don't come and they teach you how to play football. Because the merry-go-round, the revolving door of the sacking of coaches was so fast that if a coach spent 5 months trying to give a player a time to blend in and he loses 2 games, he's gone. Go and ask the much heralded baby Mourinho, Andres Villas-Boas,
who came with a UEFA winning pedigree, an entire season unbeaten. He ended up in one place they called Anzi Machachkala. Remember that club name that reminds you of Mehisha Haran's Bash, that longest name in the Bible. Okay, let's move on. Okay, he didn't play a single game for Chelsea. And then let's go to this one. But this guy, I wouldn't call him a failure to Senegalese. I wouldn't call him a failure if all he did was that thing he did to Steven Gerrard. I'm okay. I'm fine. There's some things that just give joy. Some things that will remain in the annals of the Premier League, the memories. But I see Sky Sports are doing what they don't put that thing in the highlight of the Premier League. You believe people because he did it to an English player. They always try to omit it. But if you look at La Liga, they always show you that thing that Angel Di Maria did to Carlos Puyol, where he turned into camel leg, when he gave him camel leg dribbling. That guy was lucky that it was elastic. By now, they've done the operation to join back together. But you know what I mean. They don't ever put. If you look at Sky Sports, you will never see that thing. That's not fair. It's not fair to my Senegalese brother. Senegalese Dembaba, a short-term 6 fix for Chelsea, scoring issues. The Senegalese scored big goals during the 18-month spell at the club, including one that still haunts Liverpool supporters to this very day. Yeah, I like you when you read this, right? See, because that for me was the moment of the season. What's it called? Brendan Rodgers, he was bragging, with the title, blah, 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 blah. I said, what Rafael Benitez could not do, you want to do? I mean, this is your upcoming coaching skill. Okay, now, don't worry. Jose Mourinho had plans. Jose Mourinho said, I don't want to win it, but not be for my head, I can't win league. I can't say we won it over Jose Mourinho, so I will kill you here today. Jose Mourinho called, Jose Mourinho know how to talk to the African players. He know how to get into their head. I call them Baba, see, them Baba. You know that you are the greatest all-time striker in the world. See, I chose you because when I look around, even Zlatan Ibrahimovic don't reach. Even this one don't reach. I tell Baba say, ha, Coach Hila, what do you want me to do for you? You know that thing when the Solomon gave 1,000 bottles free and God came there and say, seeing that you have done this thing, what do you want me to do for you? And Solomon said, give me wisdom. I say, wisdom you will have, but beyond wisdom, you have more money than anybody. And I mean, during this raid, there was gold in the streets. That's our booking about it. Because I don't understand how gold with the streets of Jerusalem. I don't know, maybe Bible lie you, but that's our booking about it. Because there's no way by now the whole of Jerusalem people for them. But that's a conversation for another day. And he showed up and did that. Now there's this one that was signed, and the whole of Africa was on board. Africans were celebrating, were jumping top to bottom, and this guy, and I think he's the greatest all-time African football player. The greatest all time. There's nobody on his level. Don't forget, George Weah also played for Chelsea. Failure. But this guy, this guy can sniff goals out of nothing. He's an Olympic gold medalist, multiple Champions League winner, La Liga winner. He's played everywhere. This is not the guy who comes in and you teach him how to play. This is the guy who comes in and you go from relegation to champions. But hey, Samuel Eto'o Fields was gotten for free. Maybe because of free, I don't know. 2013, 2014. One of Africa's, not one of Africa. Sorry, the writer of this piece did not write well. Africa's all-time greatest striker. Okay, greatest player, greatest striker, greatest everything. Put all African players together in a big pool. This guy will stand out. There's nobody on his level. If you want to argue with facts. Don't come here and give me sentimental conversation. And don't you ever, not there, mention Rashidi Yekini or Coach Akano in this conversation. I will send, I'm going to work again. Many people don't abuse Ogun too much. Ogun or cripple. I will send something after you now. Okay? One of Africa's greatest strikers, Eto'o, got 12 goals in his sole campaign with Chelsea, including a hat-trick against Manchester United. You see, this is the guy. It's the guy for the big occasion. Manchester United, deal with them. Let's them up. I don't reach handle. This side can come and be making noise in my front. I deal with you. But it just got too much. But there came, this is the Indaboski Bahose. When Chelsea signed Indaboski Bahose, we know that there was trouble, and the trouble was more for Arsenal. When Indaboski Bahose signed in 2014 and played till 2017, and I think he came back again. This guy was a no-nonsense guy. This is not the guy that you want to come and mess with. This is not the guy that you play. If you can guess who that person is, you can write it there on the comment section. When Indaboski Bahose came in, he changed everything in the Premier League. They said Premier League strikers don't do this, they don't punch, they don't fight that, this one. They said Suarez was biting. This one beats people. This one they beat people. This one a thug, area boy. This one grew up in Mushi, Congo State Warri for ERA, like the area that I stayed. And then I left there, went to Port Harcourt and stayed in Dio. This guy is crazy. See, they say there's one Brazilian called Edmond. They say he's the animal. This is the real animal, but people didn't understand. He was mad. He was the player that you wish your club have. But when Chelsea is playing against you, you'll be trolling me. Hey, this is how a striker. This is how a striker should be. But in your heart of heart, back then when people used to hate Thierry Henry. But in their heart of heart, I wish Thierry Henry was our player. That's the way a lot of people hate Pep Guardiola, but you wish he's coaching your team. Diego Costa. Hey, Jesus. I'm an Arsenal fan, so if there's anybody who felt the pain, emotional damage. I felt it. Boy, he was a guy. When Diego Costa showed up, he said one of the greatest and most controversial strikers of the Roman Abramovich era. Costa scored 59 goals in 120 games for Chelsea and played a key role in their title win of 2015 and 2017. That's the guy. But how Antonio Conte managed to use SMS to sign this guy, God will not forgive him. That's why we don't win any title with Tottenham Hotspur. Rubbish behavior. However, he also proved a troublesome presence and fell out with Antonio Conte among interest from China, which eventually led to Costa returning to Atletico Madrid. They asked him to go to China and say, me. Can't play China. Do I look like Oscar Mbwaba? Are you okay? You think that my family members are poor like Oscar Mbwaba's family members? Stop it. And he did not go anywhere. But it was the kind of striker that you love to have in your team. And that period was the period where Arsenal have all those small children, all those small, tiny musketeers. Guy bully all of them. This was the Gulliver travel. One of the club's most adored forward returned for a second spell at Stamford Bridge during Jose Mourinho's second spell. I went on to add another Premier League winners medal to his collection. This guy, I don't have any introduction. I don't need to say anything about him. Arsenal fans hate him with a passion, but your hate is for yourself. Now your pockets. You don't sabi. Everton fans don't like him. Bayern Munich Arena will never forget this guy. There's anywhere he goes, he causes damage. This guy is the wheel of the wheels. This guy is the Andy Cole and Dwight York put together. This guy is the Terry Sheringham and whoever put together. This guy is everything. With his back to goal, he is more deadly than with his face to goal. Don't even talk about it. Put the ball on the floor, he kill you. Put the ball on the air, he kill you. Put the ball on his chest, he murder you. This guy is, in war, there is the frontline people. Those guys are the pawns in battle. They just go there and go and die, like the Solomon Kalou of this world. They go and die. This guy was a sniper that takes the vantage position. It's just up there, and he does not miss his target. He aims for the head and blow you off. He scored some goals that make commentators pee on their pants. Against Everton, back to goal, lobbed the ball forward to him, put it on his chest, up in the eye like with Roma. He turned, and the volley is something that you can never forget. If they like, let them say anything. He lost the election, he doesn't win election. I don't give a hoot about that. Your opinion is on your pocket. Didier Drogba, hey, this is the guy that Pogba wants to be, but Pogba is not there. This guy is everything. He has a center by head that says that's where they put the juju. I don't care. Whatever juju they put, you go and do your own and come and deliver. This guy was the guy. But then there are some other guys, just for notable mention, that shouldn't even have played for Chelsea, but they played. Like Remy, cost 10.5 million. Spent 3 seasons with the club. The Frenchman moved from Queen's Park Rangers after Chelsea triggered a 10.5 million release clause in his contract. Why did they trigger that one? This one I agree is a panic buy. He made little impact and moved to La Liga side Las Palmas in 2017. Now, this is another guy who could match up with Didier Drogba. This guy's record speaks for itself. This guy is called Mr. UEFA Cup. This guy is everything when it comes. His whole body ooze of goals. This guy is the... So what's this guy that played for Manchester United and went to Villarreal and won the European Golden Boot? Diego Forlan. This guy is the Diego Forlan of Colombia. This guy makes drug cartel watch football. This guy makes peace to reign when he's playing. He's everything. Skillful, fast, athletic. He's got everything in him. But then he came to Chelsea and he went from a lion to small Port Harcourt Inkita. I don't understand what happened there. He didn't even talk to a pussycat. He went to Inkita straight. From Radimal Fat Cow to Radimal Fat Cow. I don't understand how that happened. But if you guys know what happened to him, you could tell me. Because a disastrous loan spell at Manchester United preceded an equally poor period at Chelsea for the Colombian. He scored just once in 12 appearances. And then there's this one who was regarded as the future. This guy was fine boy personified. Excellent looking young boy. Brazilian boys are not really that fine, but this one was fine. Well cultured nose, well trimmed, looking with his furry hair, looking all good. Is your darling. Is a guy that makes your girlfriend wonder why she's dating you. He's the guy. It's a ladies man. The small boy, the guy that you just fall in love with. You just see him, oh, he's like a puppy. You just love him. But hey, this guy, Alessandro Pato, playing for AC Milan, focus on football now. The club president, not I gonna go fire, kick him out. So this guy had another dismal loan signing. The Brazilian made only 2 appearances after arriving at Chelsea from Corinthians halfway through the 2015-2016 season and scored only 1 goal. But 1 goal in 2 games is not bad, though. But why did he not make all those other appearances? It's all we cannot tell. So let's go to the people who use Juju to sign for Chelsea. First one is Michu Batshuayi, 33 million pounds. That is why that word by Asari Dokubo was invented. Not be Juju be that. Because it was all Juju as far as I'm concerned. This guy would hug everybody, and I'm sure a lot of people took bribe to make sure that this did go through. Like his international colleague, Lukaku Batshuayi failed to reach expectation as Chelsea, though he did score the title-winning goal against West Brom in May 2017. He's been on loan at Valencia. You know, he's still a Chelsea player till today. He's been on loan everywhere. And everywhere he goes, they reject him. They vomit him out. They reject him everywhere. Now, this is another player that have Juju. There's not anybody who will tell me this one is Oyibo Juju. This guy is doing voodoo. This guy is doing voodoo doll. He's doing everything. Because how can such a terrible player play for some of the biggest clubs? This guy's played for Real Madrid. He's played for Atletico Madrid. He's played for Juventus. He's played with Tiago. I know Sabi play football. I'm talking about no other than the one that sounds like avocado. Alvaro Morata. 58 million pounds. 2017. When he arrived, they said this is the guy that will score the goals that nobody has ever seen before. He scored a few goals, got injured, and then that was the end of the story. But that she wrote. Okay, but I think he used Juju. Okay, 21 goals and 72 appearances for Chelsea might look good. Now, there's this one that people seem to like judge wrongly, but I think is a good player. And it's going to take similar to win the league title. Olivier Giroud, I don't like him as an Arsenal player, but then there's just this thing about him that he comes off the bench and he bangs in the goal. The French international scored 10 goals in 43 appearances as at the time of this write-up. But we all know that eventually Gonzalo Higuain was signed to come and, kick him out of the team. But we know who left first. So you can have your say now on all of these guys that I mentioned, and even if you have other names, notable mention, you can. But let me take some messages from the WhatsApp page as I've seen. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. With what you just said, Oba FA Cup goals are more valuable than Hurricanes over 100. Obviously, they are. Obviously, they are. Where the trophy that came with, what's it called? Hurricanes plenty good. Hurricanes, I don't know be good. I don't know people the first time for basketball. I don't be good. That's just, he got regret them after. Look at the titles that Raheem Sterling have to his name. Look at what Hurricane have or don't have. You will understand. Now, when you retire, you will know. You will know what to do. By now, you never understand. Divine Tokai says, it seems to me that Kai Havertz is showing similar traits of the great Zinedine Zidane. He shows up in big games, especially when you least expect him to do so. He should do it more consistently. Torres' goal against Barcelona was everything for me. 50 million pounds paid for me at that junction. That remained one of my favorite Chelsea moments and Chelsea goal. Okay, so I was talking about Diego Costa. Thank you very much, Divine, for that one. And there is the comment from my brother, my friend. What's his number now? I missed it. No, this was also yesterday. Okay, no, it's Akoji. Okay, it said they go from Adam Johnson was a good one too. Yes, I love Adam Johnson himself and Robert. No. That team was probably for me Chelsea's best team to ever play in the Premier League. Adam Johnson on one side, and people say they were packing the bus. I don't understand that statement to do. I don't know, maybe I don't know about football league, but you cannot say a team that scored more than everybody. A team that didn't concede goal. A team that scored more goals than anybody scored in the league. They say it's packing the bus. I don't know what packing the bus means, yeah. if you have those players banging, and they were winning games like 6-0, 4-0, 3-0, and they say it's back in the most. Now let's come to those transfer rumors that we have. Less than 3 weeks now, the window will be shut down. Some clubs have done relatively well above average. A good example is Arsenal. They still need 2 or 3 players. But if you compare previous windows in the last 15 or 20 years, going back to the Arsene Wenger Mumui's days, you will say that Arsenal have done good business. Never in the last 15 years, never have Arsenal started a season prepared. There's always something missing. There's always expectations that are not being met. There's always last minute market where you go and buy crayfish instead of meat. You understand? But this time around, Arsenal have gotten players in and they put a squad together that is happily and well moved together. They can afford not to, but they should anyway, because they're playing for competition, and the competition for the top 4 is getting stiffer every single day. So they need squad depth. So for the sake of squad depth, they need 2 or 3 more players. If they get 2 and they don't get the third, I'll be fine. 1 winger who can also play across the front line, and 1 more midfielder. Because eventually some of the players in that team will go. And you know that the village people who are using Granit Xhaka's career to do sports betting will always make him to pick up red card and go out. So you need the body that will come in. I'm not saying that Mohamed Elneny is not a good player. That's not what I'm saying. But we all know that Mohamed Elneny has put himself as a squad player. Okay? The only guy who can go 40 games without kicking the ball and still tell you that he's happy to be with the team. So it tells you he's already put himself as a squad player. I like players in my team to be fighting to say, angry that they're not playing. That's why I love what this player did. The Manchester City player. Erling Haaland scored 2 goals, got removed 10 minutes to the end of the game, and he was pissed. And he said it straight up that he was on the road to get a hat-trick and he doesn't feel comfortable being removed from the game. I love players like that. That's an issue that the coach would have to deal with, okay? Because I want to play. I didn't tell you I was tired. It's 90 minutes, I can run, okay? We're running on good grass. It's not as if we're running on the Isikali sand. What's wrong with you? But that kind of feeling is what I have. But for a player to say, even if I don't play, I'm happy to be here, damn, you're crazy. You should be a kit manager. You should be a dinner man. You're a failure. You will never make it. Okay, but let's come to the transfer rumor. The club that needs to sign the most, but they're not signing any, is Manchester United and Chelsea. Unfortunately, they are gambling with their top 4 position, especially Chelsea. Man United, they are used to not being in the top 4. Their fans can protest from that till eternity. If they don't have the money to buy the club, they should shut up and drive. That's the way I see it. Chelsea are ready to sign Dutch midfielder Frenkie de Jong. They've been saying this for the past God knows how long. And Gabon forward Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 33, if Barcelona decide to sell them. Okay, Barcelona have no choice. They need to decide today and sell those 2 players. Because if they don't, all the players that they sign in this transfer window would walk away for free. The money that they use to sign them will be lost. And that will be the worst business. But then, if I know Juan Laporta the way I know him, he will find a way around it. That man is a man who always work magic. So I think he will get it done eventually. Now, let me take some messages across the different platforms that we're on. Mr. Smile says, just joined in, not quite long. Have you talked about Barca not being able to register players? Let's wait till they are actually not able to register players. Because, see, the way I understand this industry that I mean, you go out there and run your mouth and talk all the talk you want to talk. Tomorrow morning, you hear that all these players have been registered. There is always something up the sleeves of people that run Barcelona. So let's be calm. Let's not be in a hurry. Like I always tell you guys, I don't do breaking news. And these are not even proper breaking news. These are stories that are unfolding. Let's wait. Let's give it time. When the window closes and they're not able to register those players, we'll sit down, analyze it, talk about the money that they've wasted, whether this board is worse than Joseph Maria Bartomeu, who will decide at that time. But right now, if we come here and spend an entire hour talking about Barcelona not being able to register player, and on Sunday, you see the same player play for them in the league, you'll be like, oh, I spoke too soon. And then you have eggs in your face. I don't want to have a Fabrizio Romano moment right now. So let's relax. And you know that the internet doesn't forget, and it doesn't forgive. So I don't want to be dragged like I better pass my neighbor generator. Chelsea are close to agreeing a deal worth more than 80 million euros, which is 67.6 million pounds, with Barcelona for Frenkie de Jong. Barcelona will be very, very grateful to take that money, but I don't know if Frenkie de Jong wants to play for Chelsea. Somebody says, I am Efido Junior says, any update about Real Madrid signing a backup striker? No, there's no update. They're okay. They're comfortable with the team that they have. The 2 additions that they add to that team is good enough for them. They don't look like they are lacking. You saw that play yesterday against Eintracht Frankfurt. Was there anything missing? Okay, so let's go to the third one here. The Blues are waiting on a decision from Lyon. Okay, Frenkie de Jong needs to make a decision, needs to decide whether he wants to stay or want to go. What if a decision from de Jong, who would prefer to move to Stamford Bridge rather than join Manchester United, while also continuing to pursue a deal for Leicester City's French defender Wesley Fofana, 21. I think Fofana is good, but Chelsea have now bossed themselves into a place where they have to pay premium. They have to pay high value for them to be able to get players because the time is short. They don't have the room to maneuver. There's no wiggle room. That's why I love the business that Arteta and Edu have done for us now. At the very beginning, when people have never started pricing, they bought it easy. Okay, and then open the bail. So they bought the best one. Now everybody's coming. There's fight. There's battle. Everybody is, buying night market and all those mistakes that come. Manchester United have not given up hope of signing Frenkie de Jong. They should give up hope because Frenkie de Jong does not want to play in Europa competition. Okay, and I'm confident it will move to Old Trafford once they resolve the issue of the players' deferred wages with Barcelona. Now, in this case, Barcelona, it will do Barcelona a lot more favor if he goes to Manchester United. But the player says that it's a World Cup year. I don't want to be playing Thursday night. I want to be playing Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I want to be playing in the big occasion when the main people come to watch. I don't want to be going to places that are written in the Bible where Apostle Paul used to go and preach. I want to play Mesopotamia. I want to go and play Macedonia. I want to go. No. I don't want to play in those places. Those are the places where missionary journeys are done. I'm not a missionary. I am a professional footballer, and I want to play in Milan. I want to play in Porto. I want to play at the Allianz Arena. I want to play at the Juventus Arena. I don't want to go and play in Mesopotamia. What's that? It does sound like the name of the baby of hippopotamus or something. But, I mean, that's why. But Chelsea have an ace card. They want to go to Nineveh. Are you going to play? You got to play Nineveh. You got to play against Kajaslata. You got to play against some kind of funny thing. Say you are going to Baku. You want to shop Baku for Ghana? In Azerbaijan, to go and play one team that their name nobody can pronounce. After this season, you will not hear their name again for another 200 years. No, they don't want to play in those competitions. That's Manchester United's lot. He does not want to go there. Chelsea have the ace card of playing in the Champions League. Chelsea will go to the Maradona Stadium in Naples to go and win. Chelsea will go to Milan. Chelsea will go to San Siro, or they'll go to the Allianz Arena. They'll go and battle there. They'll go and play in the worst place they can go is maybe Turkey, Galatasaray or something. But to go to Nineveh and go to Mesopotamia or go to I can't even remember their name. That's where you want Frenkie de Jong in the World Cup year to go. No, it's not going to. Some networks definitely will show the matches. So no need go to do. What are you going to do in Macedonia? You want to go plant corn there? You want to go buy Agbado? Yeah, Tinubu send you message to go and buy Agbado. And please leave Manchester United and what they're saying. Barcelona Spain defender Gerard Pique 35 has offered to play for free in order to help the club meet La Liga's financial fair play rules and register their new signings. These guys are rich boys. These are rich boys. They can afford to do anything. His media company just reported a profit of over 1.2 billion. What are you saying? This guy is big. When you're big, you're big. Elephant does not need fasting and prayer to grow big. Fish, then they pray to swim. They just know. Monkey, then they pray to jump from tree to tree. Only it's just a natural thing. So he can afford to do that. But I know why he's doing all this thing, though. His future is eyeing to be president of Barcelona. So all these things will count for him eventually. You understand? You will say I said it too. Denmark defender Andres Christensen and Ivory Coast midfielder Frankie Kessie, 25, who both joined Barcelona this summer, could leave the club for free if they cannot be registered before Saturday. First Saturday's La Liga match. More than the wait now. Say Saturday and next tomorrow. Now go try and talk. These guys will play for Barcelona. Don't worry yourself. Laporte did there. If you like it for my Liverpool are preparing to reward England under 21 midfielder Harvey Elliott, and they did the plan more with a new long-term contract just 12 months after the 19-year-old signed his previous deal. All these are the things that leads to fraud. 12 months ago, he signed a new deal. Wait till the reward again. You know they play match. So that when I go to somebody will come by there, they'll come be like the walk out and Gakpo at the end of the day. English players now are this money kind of investment. Waste your time. That's so Man City go spend 100 million to buy that gym instructor, send a footballer. Okay. Juventus are close to reaching an agreement with Barcelona over the transfer of Dutch forward Memphis Depay, 28 years of age. Manchester City are proceeding with an £11 million deal for under 21-year-old Spanish defender Sergio Gomez, which is expected to be finalized on Thursday. Now, that's some very, very funny and strange things that happen with Man City this window. They negotiate their deal, sign very cheap and affordable player, but how they manage to get a player like Erling Haaland for 51 million? It's still the miracle of my life. And Frenkie de Jong is 78 million. I don't understand though. I'm not saying that Frenkie de Jong is not a good player, but it's like pay expensive bride price for Ukbo and pay cheap particle bride price for Virgin. I don't understand. Let's never go to that conversation because I'm not in that ministry right now. Let me focus on the board and play. But if anybody understands that mathematics, explain it to me. And then they sold and made profit. They are still looking for. They refuse to sign Cucurella. They hold their guys and we're not signing this one. They are going for 11 million now, and the player might do well. Okay, but my prayer is that Bernardo Silva should not go because Bernardo Silva go, Man City not gonna win anything. They are praying to win the quadruple this season, but Bernardo Silva leave, even league title self. Kadara. Okay. City will still look to sign another left back before the transfer window closes, regardless of whether Gomez joins the club or not. Paris Saint-Germain are close to reaching a deal worth 25 million euros, which is 21 million pounds, with rest for 20-year-old French forward Arnaud Kalimuendo, okay, who is also a target for Leeds United. Okay, Leeds United and Paris Saint-Germain are dragging player. That's good. Though. Manchester United's 15 million pounds. Leeds United don't say they don't figure the player. There's the feeling that I play with Mbappe and Messi. Don't you know it's already convincing? I'm going to play Leeds United with battle relegation. Manchester United 50 million pounds more for Juventus France midfielder Andre Rabiot has stalled over the 27-year-old's wages demand. Man, you want to buy trouble. You are already a club in trouble. You manage to let Pogba go. You want Anatovic. You want what's it called? Rabiot. But then again, there's a flip side to that story. People, I've heard all the pundits in England says Manchester United should not be signing these players. It reminds me of VIO on the road. They stopped me one day. They said my car is not roadworthy. That's all Gabon. Is the Nigerian road worthy of my car? The same way. People say my United is this or that. Are they worthy of these players? You have Europa. You have a club that is killing players and killing coaches. You're still doing Shakara. You go there, I never seen the right man. I won't go to stay house reach 50 years. You don't see my marry. Manchester United, I never know anything. I go relegate at this rate. Okay. United target Gakpo says it is more likely to remain at PSV Eindhoven. Okay, should the club qualify for the Champions League? 23-year-old Dutch midfielder and player of the season last year, and his sides face Rangers over 2 legs for a place in the seasons later this month. Okay, so Manchester United look for somewhere else because it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Or you guys should just start giving Rangers money from behind to win that game. Manchester United technical director Darren Fletcher, imagine Fletcher Edu. You know, if this Fletcher, this will be like we get kata problem growing up. We know. Travel to watch Watford 24-year-old Senegalese winger Ismaila Sarr against West Brom. You don't need to watch Ismaila Sarr now. We saw him all through last season in the Premier League. Make up your mind. Or you just the waste mileage of travel. Former Manchester United striker Javier Hernandez 24 says he would return to the club for free to help ease their forward shortage. The Mexican currently plays for LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy, when I not grow, our club will go spoil and play out. Chelsea are interested in signing Celtic 26-year-old Croatia fullback Josip Juranovic, who is also attracting interest from Atletico Madrid and Manchester United. Arsenal Spanish centre-back Pablo Mari, 28, when they call Arsenal player. Because they like saying Arsenal player true. He's close to joining the Italian side Monza on loan. He should go permanently now. Silvio Berlusconi, I don't think about the player completely. Or maybe we'll call Godos to come give him money. Former Manchester United and Chelsea midfielder Wamata 34, the man who had plenty of franchise, has rejected offers to join MLS teams as the Spanish free agent continues to search for club within Europe. AC Milan finally have reportedly open talks with Arsenal's 22-year-old Belgian Simi Lokonga as they continue their search for a midfielder. Please come and take him. Take him away. We'll be willing to sell. If you pay at the right price, we'll go. Okay. So let me take this. I am Elfido Jr. says, would love to see Osimhen in a Real Madrid jersey or any club bigger and more ambitious than Napoli. Napoli are not selling. Forget about it. Saviki said, please, why can't Barcelona register before kickoff of La Liga when the transfer window would close on that day? Please explain. Okay, so there is a cap for salary. You can't go past 650 million. Barcelona are way above that. So, and the contract of Frenkie de Jong means that you pay 450,000 pounds every week, 450,000 euros every week. if they don't cut that salary out of their wage bill, they can't register it, because once you register the rest, their salaries will not add up to it. It's already past the La Liga financial fair play threshold. So that's the reason why they need to sell Frenkie de Jong very fast. With Frenkie de Jong gone, they cannot register these players, because all of these guys are not on big salaries as you have with player like Frenkie de Jong. So that would make sense. But Frenkie de Jong wants one. He wants to play in Champions League, but beyond that, the money that is deferred, the 17 million that is deferred, he wants that money for him because he believes he worked for it, and nobody should tell him to forgo that money. That's what's holding the deal. Barcelona is saying that the contract with which they renewed it in 2020 had some, fraudulent touch to it, so they don't want to pay that money. Manchester United have offered to also pay the money. That okay, don't worry, now this will cause problem. Let's pay it. If Aubameyang go look for Agbada go for Aubameyang, the person remove the Agbada, use only the Shoko to take where they go. But what's it called? Frenkie de Jong said, no, I want my money. But beyond that, Manchester United, I'm not even interested. I'm not attracted to you guys. This is the first time I've seen a player openly say, I'm not interested in the club, and the club is still killing themselves to sign him. And then if he doesn't perform, the press will not start blaming him. But and all those demons, Manchester United class of 92, that always sit in the studio to analyze people, as some of them can't coach you, and they will start saying all the things they want to say. But the player is saying, I don't want to play for Man United. I don't like them. They're not the club that I like. And then the competition that I play in, it's not even attractive at all. But nobody's listening to him. Well, let's leave it. Let me go to my favorite people, my YouTubers, and have a conversation around all their comments that they're making. Abdullah Oriyomi says, good morning, boss. Good morning to you. You're the best. Hala Madrid. Yes, so Madrid is on a different level. Nobody's on their level. Anybody who said anything. Keodofia on Instagram said, bros, if we bring achievement to the table, Fletcher achieved more than Edu. No, we're talking about as a football director, not the achievement. Football director. Edu is coming from being the technical director of the Brazilian national team. Look at the players he's signed. He's got connection with them. Who Fletcher they bring? Which connection did they bring? What's on his phone book? What's on his phone book? That's what we're talking about. When it comes to being a football director, your achievement holds nothing. It's what you have on your contact list, your phone book that matter. Who you can call on the phone and say, this is the project we are doing. We want you to come here. Think about it and look at the players that Arsenal have signed. In previous years, even as a man, I don't sign these players. It is the relationship that exists. So when it comes to signing, relationship is very key. The death of Mino Raiola is still affecting a lot of people because the boardroom that guy can walk into without booking appointments. Some people cannot have it. So, when you call there are some people you call, they will not even answer you. Yesterday, me and Victor Manuel talk for like 2 minutes before that guy allowed to my bank. Some people go call her for like 1 year saying, don't send a fish shishi. That's the point I'm trying to prove here. It's about connection. It's about what you have to offer. Leave achievement. Okay? So let's move on. Now we play this now. We talk as a football director. If you want to play football director for a club like Manchester United that are struggling, you need to bring somebody that is powerful, somebody that can force the hand of players to come play, say, bros, and because of you. I remember when I signed on to coach a club called Gerard Pique. The players that I brought in, there's no other coach that would have been able to. Because I walk up to them, I go to the house and tell them, guy, I want you to play for me. This is what I think is going to happen. And I bros, and because you understand? There are a few people that were threatening not to sign for me, people like Omokoro and the rest of them. But I brought Gakpo from Benin, brought Eloa Michael from Benin, from St. Thomas, because I was convinced that I could do something. It's about the connections that you have. This whatever I want, he want for his pocket too. Ezra Patrick, you say good morning, basketball to you. Please, I've been trying to find out what happened to the Remo Star coach. Which one? Benga Gubote. His contract ran out and they didn't renew the contract. Okay, so from what I heard, sources says that he was asking for like quadruple of the money because they're going to play on the continent, and the management felt like we can't pay that one. So you can go to where we pay you. We're still a small club, even though you think we're rich, but we're spending our money on different projects. We can afford not to pay you that money and still go on the continent, not win and not do anything. That's what, the real proposition for Remo Stars, let's be honest, is that beyond limit squad. That squad that went to Italy, that we traveled with. Very soon we'll put out the video. You will see those players. That's the real business for them. So they're weighing business and fame, and like we don't need fame. We're not going to go on the continent and win the CAF Confederation Cup. Let's be very, very honest. So let's focus on developing these players, selling them. In November, one of their players will sign for Inter Milan. That's cool, $300,000. The money is just there. They are just waiting for his age to turn 18. But these guys that are playing this MPFL, none of them is transferring anywhere. So it's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. I say, bros, you don't finish the message now. I stated that the later part of the message, I don't know what you write there now because the beginning already done sour, I mean the food sour now. Achievement more than Edu, but administratively, Edu have done my brother shift. That's not the conversation anymore. I don't already answer. My answer don't already cover everything. We'll be flesh and Katanos. There you go, sleep on bush. Nana Ado, my guy. Nana Ado say they killed the career of Atsu and Babarama. Yeah, that's true. These guys were in Chelsea too. Many don't know Babarama of Ghana is still a Chelsea player. That's true. And he's a very good player. Babarama is a very robust player on the ball. Sometimes you just get confused why these deals happen. You know, why players go to this type of club and then their career just because one of those players that I really love, if you know me well, I love Ghana players. I think that Ghana is the Brazil of Africa. I'm sorry, Nigeria should not like this, but I think that when it comes to being skillful, a lot of Ghana players are a lot more skillful than us. I know what of a coach and kind of hey, if we're going to be very honest here, they have Amedi Pele, they have Leo Datilanti, they have Anthony Yeboah, they have all these guys. So they could match us player for player anyway. I just like Brazilian players. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. I love Brazilian players. And as a Patrick said about who? Let me not talk. You're Liverpool man, what do you get to talk? You have nothing to say. Johnny Gakpo, I say Diego Costa, I say Patrick say Costa. The Larawaju is Alvaro Morata is a fine player, but never hits the height that matches his potential. So fine player as a model or as a footballer. If you never hit the height, it's not a fine player. So I think it's Ghana players are mostly left-footed and very skillful. Yeah. I love the Ghana players. I love the way they play. I would never forget Anthony Yeboah and Trash Frankfurt and Leeds United. They play with their hearts. That's what I like about them. I love Baby Jed, Asamoah Gyan. I like Samuel Kufo. I just love them. From goalkeeper Edward Ansah back in the day at Iwayamu National. I watched him play in the Nigerian League. It was very, very good. There's a Ghana coach that was coaching in Nigeria at the time for Julius Baja. His name was Philip Boama. Fantastic coach as well. That guys that I love, you know. And then As Patrick said, Manscom United, long may the suffering continue. And then Olarawaju said, let me ask some cynical question. Do you still have a favorite program you listen to on Brill? I don't listen to Brill anymore. And can you mention it? You choose to answer or not? Just because I don't listen to Brill anymore. Not because I hate the station, but actually all of the characters that I want to listen to are all out. If Murphy was still there, I'll listen to Murphy anytime. Because Murphy was a tonic that gets you laughing and ease your stress. But unfortunately, I don't. And listen, let's be very honest. I run a digital radio. And I'm more of a podcast person. So I spend my time listening to every available podcast. I don't think that I want to live my life backward. Now, this is not disrespect to terrestrial radio. But in reality, as the world is today, terrestrial radio is backward living. A radio station that broadcasts in Lagos and you cannot hear them across Nigeria, it's not a radio station that I want to listen to. I want to know how, the breakfast show is doing in New York. I want to know how ESPN Houston is doing, ESPN New York is doing. I want to know how Press Pass is working. I want to know how Sway is doing his podcast. There's a whole lot of podcasts that I listen to. I'm a podcast person. That's why for a very long time, since 2000, I've not had, since 2020, I've not had DSTV. It's more expensive anyway for you to pay for these online TVs. But I just want to know what makes them tick, what works for them. Because that's what I'm going to. I want to produce movies, documentaries, stories. Everything's going to be online. Why should I bother myself trying to go terrestrial? It's like saying, what's my favorite program on NTA? Nigeria could be born in and NTA will be showing you Arugungu Fishing Festival. That's what I want to watch. No, I don't. So it's not disrespected. It's just my perspective has changed. There's a paradigm shift, and I'm focused on the things that I can learn from, what they do, what makes them tick, what makes them superb. That's all. So I think I still remember Atamosis of those days. Man, that was a fantastic player for a while back in the day with his big shot. Yomiti, he said Arsenal look good, going to this season. But I'm worried when Thursday football starts and they need another striker, because if Jesus gets more knock and injury, it might derail them their season. Well, I think that last season they actually played without Aubameyang and Lacazette for a while, and they did well. let's not underrate Eddie Nketiah that much because he helped us to the 5th position that we finished. And as a player, a lot of people have been on his neck. He would need to prove a point. I think he just might use this as his opportunity to announce himself. But beyond that, Bukayo Saka score goals, Martinelli score goals, Emilio Smith come from the bench to score goals. Other guys have got goals in it. So if you put all that together, there's still going to be goals in that team. I mean, Arteta's desire is to play like Pep Guardiola, play with a first line, not really getting an actual number 9. So that's the reason why they're not bothered. If you notice, they're still taking away for Tielemans, they're still taking another midfielder. You can see that the major focus is let's crowd that midfield, keep the possession, deny the opposition the ball, and then get the result that we need. So I think he might do well because the most important thing is like Liverpool. Liverpool is more of the coach than the players. And that's what Arteta is trying to create. It's more about the coach than the player. So I think they'll do well. One of the good things is there's no pressure for him to win the league. I think there's going to be pressure for him to win the Europa League anyway. As Arsenal begin to progress, the expectation will be win the Europa Cup. And that would be very great for him if he's able to win it because he wins the Europa Cup, he stands head and shoulders above Arsene Wenger. And people will not agree, but it's true. Because that one title, what would beat all those, whether you go unbeaten or invisible or you don't do invisible, you win the double or you don't win the double. It will go higher of it. Because Wenger had 2 finals in Europe and he lost both. One against Galatasaray, the other one against Barcelona. So, well, he would always be judged on that one, on fact. So, I just hope that he get these things right. Okay. Let's go to final comments on the YouTube channel. As a Patrick says, boss, say the class of 92 of United that are pundit, they are actually doing their job, which is to analyze and criticize. No, they are overdoing it. Okay? They have to do their job, so I don't blame them. No, they are overdoing it. There are some overstretching, overreaching, like how they ran Jose Mourinho out of the club. They are overdoing it, and it's not good. Bros, there are some messages you did read above. I'm not sure I dropped any message. I'm not sure. No, there's not a single message that I did not read. I read every message in this place. Well, we've come to the end of the show. It's been wonderful, guys, and lovely. Thank you to everybody who sent me their messages from Instagram, from WhatsApp, and on the YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do want to subscribe. And then if you are not reading our stories, please do want to also help us to read on www.elementatv.com. Please read and then drop a comment at the bottom. It's very easy. It's not as cumbersome as some other website would stress you to bring your father's birth certificate and your mother's middle name and all that. It's very, very straightforward and easy. Please do want to read on our page and drop comment and see. Okay. When should we expect prediction for Friday? I didn't do Tuesdays and Wednesdays because Champions League proper have not started these qualifiers. Match fixing too much, I beg. I don't want to put myself in a place where I will make people lose money. But definitely Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the weekend games, prediction will be on the website. I'm already working on it already. We posted pretty soon, but I don't want to post it too early because you have to consider last minute injuries, possible things that could go wrong. I like the fact that last week Friday people won. On Saturday and Sunday was not really as good as we expected with the draw by Liverpool and the defeat by Manchester United. Change all of the landscape of the predictions, but I want to get it as close as possible. Okay, so sometimes you just have to wait for the very, very last minute to be able to post it because if you post something today, injuries, things might change, and what you're building your prediction on is on the available players, and then everything changes, and then you make people lose their money. It's not really a good thing because some people, we always say don't bet what you cannot lose. The thing is, some people have hope for their winning. 1,000 naira might not be big for me, but it means everything to one other person. So I'm going to always try my best to make sure you don't lose that 1,000 or 100 or 500 naira. It's very, very important. Last time I saw somebody use 1,000 naira to win 14,000 or so. That's great profit, okay? Over the course of a single day. Okay, but I don't want to see people losing that money all the time. Rather, they should win. So prediction is coming, but it's going to always come in the money of the game. That's why I also do it on a game-by-game basis. I don't want to pack Friday, Saturday, Sunday together, and then after your Friday have gone green, something happens on Saturday and you lose all your money. No, I want people to be winning. The goal is to make people win more than they lose through the course of the season. Well, thank you very much. Liverpool till I die. Liverpool TV till Jesus come. Thank you very much. Eze Patrick, love you guys. Once again, my name is Idafe Matthew. You love to come to the Liverpool Sports. I'm recovering very fast. Thank you for all your good messages. God bless you all, and have for yourself a wonderful day. It's hasta la vista from my end. Bye-bye. My nose don't block.